Thank you. It's been a great day being with you. We got a few final things to deal with. One is we're going to ask you to work with us. We'd like to do a time capsule. We'd like to bury out today some of your thoughts on what you learned today that you'd like to share with third graders in 2021, 153 years from now. So what did you find interesting today? And we're going to ask your teacher to have you raise your hand. We're going to write these things down, write them down in your book. But what did you learn today? What was new today? What are you going to do based on what you learned today? But we'd like to share that so you could tell kids in 2021 what it was like to go to school in 1868. That's going to be called a time capsule, and they may dig it up and learn what you learned today. The second thing we usually do is we have questions the kids might ask. So one of the standard questions is, where did this building come from that's up there called the Fisher School? And it used to be the one-room schoolhouse that everybody went to on the corner of Claiborne Tree and Milk Street. And then they moved all the kids up to Route 109 to go to school there. And you went to elementary school, but high school, you went to Dedham High School or Norwood High School. That's the way Westwood system was for a long time. But suddenly, the building that is now the Fisher School, up next to the middle school, it was being used by a farmer to store hay, and he said, I'm going to have to tear it down. But would the town like it? Would the Historical Society like it? So a bunch of teachers in the Westwood Historical Society said, let's try to save it. They went out and raised money to move the school up to where it is right now, put a new roof on it, put electricity into it, plumbing, and they raised quite a bit of money. And here's some pictures of, this is the building that's now right up next to the middle school. They picked it up, put it on the back of trucks, and drove it up Claiborne Tree, down to Hatton Street, down 109, and put it where it is right now. And this is another picture of it. They propped it up, lifted it up to get it onto the truck to move it. So this was the dedicated work about 25 years ago, the former teachers, to raise the money to do it. Then they started to think, wouldn't it be fun to really appreciate history, to have all the kids come in, and we'll do this day. So 22 years ago, every third grade has had the chance to come in and live like it was 1868 and learn what kids, how they studied. Eventually people donated old desks that we store in the basement, and then they put the curriculum together. So what you went through today is the best we could do in an epidemic to give you a feel for what it was like. What did the kids learn? What did they ask? So that's kind of the major question we usually get asked. And I hope you've benefited from it today, learned a little bit about what it was like to go to school, maybe learn a little bit about the period that people went through at that time, and learn about the history of our town. So thank you very much to the Westwood Media Center for doing this, making this available, and thank you for the teachers who are going to make it possible too. Thank you very much.